Top story on India Global from Pakistan, where the Army Chief General Asim Munir has emphasized the need to turn Pakistan into a hard state. Now, why is he saying that? He is asserting that the struggle against militancy was a battle for the country's survival. General Munir made these remarks at a high-level meeting of the Parliamentary Committee on National Security that was convened after the Baloch militants hijacked a passenger train that led to 25 passengers losing their life. The Sharif government has been criticized and has criticized Imran Khan's PTI for boycotting this meeting amidst rising terrorism. Now, the question we ask is that there are many fronts that Pakistan is now battling on, all of which is its own doing. Why? Viewers, because of the state policy of promoting terror, using terror as a state instrument, is now coming back to bite the Pakistani state. It has to address the Baloch insurgency. How will it do that? It has to address the issues and the growing attacks coming from TTP. How is it going to do that? It has no answers, because the state policy towards terror is the reason for its instability, its acute turmoil. How is it going to get out of it? Or is it going to be the beginning of the end in terms of the present state of Pakistan? I'm not making these comments lightly. I say this because there is a growing belief that the attacks it faces, the insurgency it is now facing and has to battle, may have larger consequences. What those consequences could mean, let's get in Prabhu Dayal, former ambassador, joining me on the broadcast. He's also, in fact, former Consul General in Pakistan. And let's also get in Fakhar Yousafzai, a Pakistani journalist, one of those rare breed of Pakistani journalists who is and strives to be as independent as he can. And in fact, Fakhar, let me give you that opening comment on the broadcast, which is that these are not just stray incidents that the Pakistani state is facing. And that's the reason why Sharif government as well as the army chief know they need to have a plan in place. The question I'm asking you is, does the government have a plan in place?
Thank you very much, and good evening to both of you. Actually, this point is discussing by all the journalists, by the ordinary Pakistanis on daily basis, that what is the planning of the government. Yesterday, we have seen the national security meeting in the parliament, and all the chiefs as well as the parliamentarian was appeared there. But I think so there was not a clear strategy for controlling or cope up with this critical situation which is going on in Pakistan, especially in the two provinces of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa as well as in Balochistan, and the political stability and the unity. We missed that. I think so. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf is a larger party in Pakistan, and they have the big fan following in Pakistan. They were disappear, and especially the two other the Baloch parties, the Sardar Akhtarjan Mangal Party, Balochistan National Party, as well as the Pakhtunkhwa Milli Awami Party, which is led by the Mahmud Khan Achikzai of Balochistan. They were disappeared from this very important meeting, which were about the controlling or cope up with the situation of terrorism in Pakistan. I think so. This is very important for all the political leaders as
Indeed.
well as for all the Pakistanis, that we should be united against these type of things. Otherwise, there is no clear way.
Okay, one thing is unity, second is a plan, and third is intent. Let's get in Ambassador Dayal to answer that. The fact that Pakistan is facing these attacks, the fact that insurgency and turmoil, many believe, may even increase, may impact its economy, may have larger geopolitical ramifications. Remember, India shares a border with Pakistan, so what is happening internally has ramifications for us on many fronts. How do you see this? And again, do you see that there is a plan in place to address this?
Well, first of all, let me put it this way. There is an old saying, as you sow, so shall you reap. Now, for several decades, the Pakistan government, especially the army and its intelligence wing, the ISI, have used terrorism as an instrument of state policy. In particular, Pakistan has used state-sponsored terrorism against India. Terrorist outfits like Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba have been nurtured and funded by the Pakistan government. And terrorists who were trained and armed by the Pakistan army have been infiltrated into the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir to try and kill innocent people and wreak havoc. Now, this policy of using terrorism as an instrument of state policy has backfired on Pakistan. Hillary Clinton had said during her trip to Pakistan several years ago that you can't keep snakes in your backyard and expect them only to bite your neighbors. You know, eventually these snakes are going to turn on whoever has them in the backyard.
Indeed.
And the Pakistan Army chief
And
should
that's what is
realize this
happening.
very basic truth.
That is what is happening. And that is why I said, and what I said at the beginning of this discussion, that there are serious territorial implications and ramifications of what is happening. The fact that Balochistan is about 40% of Pakistan, and the fact that in Balochistan, the Pakistani army is really struggling at this stage, and there is a momentum that these Baloch insurgents have right now with them, in favor of them, doesn't augur well for the Pakistani state, does it, Fakhar?
You're right. The situation is not good for the military forces in Balochistan, and it's a tough situation they are facing from, especially from last 2 years. They are facing the critical situation, and BLA is giving them a very tough target and tough situation. As well as this situation is concerned, I think this is not started today or yesterday or 3 or 4 days ago. I think it started from the decades. But we didn't make a right policy, I think. So this is very important. If we did that, of course, today we will not facing this situation which is going on in Balochistan. I think so. There were so many leaders. Nawab Akbar Khan Bukti Saab was the big leader of the Baloch people, and they follow them. But after his assassination, I think so the situation is gradually out of control from 2007, from the General Musharraf regime. And after that onward, from last 18 or 19 years, I think so there is no other way by the BLA, but they are attacking the military forces, and they are not going for any dialogues and things like that, and they are not accepting any offer from the Balochistan government or as well as from the federal government. And I think so we didn't try for the dialogue except the Nawaz Sharif government in 2013. We didn't go for that and
speak to them, and also their core concerns, the fact that they are not part of the economy of Balochistan, which is being exploited by Chinese investments. That core concern hasn't been addressed so far. Ambassador Dayal, as we sort of wrap things up here, final comment. How do you see this panning out for the state of Pakistan the next 1 year or so, given that it's not one front alone? There is Balochistan, there are growing attacks from TTP, the fact that there is tension on the Durand line. How do you see them all coming together for Pakistan?
Well, as I see it, the ongoing developments in Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa point towards the deep-seated anger of the people there against the Pakistan establishment, particularly the armed forces. And the situation on the ground in both these provinces of Pakistan is extremely serious. Both of them want to break away from Pakistan and be independent. Now, people in these two provinces feel that they have been systematically exploited by the Punjabi-dominated Pakistani establishment, and they want to end this exploitation. So far from getting resolved, I think the situation on the ground is worsening by the day.
All right, we leave it there. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me on this edition of India Global.